What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name is Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, not counting the animated X-Men 97 or any of the other animated shows, we actually have a ton of X-Men coming from the live-action side of Marvel Studios over the next 3 years. All of the returning Fox X-Men that have already been announced, plus some supposed cameos, maybe the likes of Storm showing up in the upcoming Avengers Doomsday. Presumably, some of them will be back, if not all of them, for a final battle in Avengers Secret Wars. And then, of course, the heavily anticipated X-Men reboot that we suspect will drop in the 2028 calendar year. That being said, and for what's been affectionately referred to as the Mutant Saga, knowing it will also have elements of the supernatural and cosmic side as well, there's actually another Marvel Mutant movie that has been confirmed now by industry insider Daniel Richtman and corroborated by the source himself, Ryan Reynolds. We're breaking it all down, this newest Deadpool movie announcement. We actually know the team and ensemble he's writing for. We're going to get into it and what it means for Marvel doing multiple X-Men movies in the next 3 or 4 years for the next phase. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel. Thanks to everyone who's been subbing lately and helped grow the channel. We're growing again at an insane rate. You guys are awesome. If you haven't already, whether you're just finding the channel for the first time or you've been rocking with us for a while, hit that sub button. It's the best way to support us. Plus, it'll enter you for the giveaways. All you got to do, be a sub, leave a comment. If you want, stick around at the end of the video. We get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so this latest scoop actually broke earlier this week from trusted industry insider source Daniel Richtman. You guys can follow him over on Twitter at RPK News. I know sometimes it feels like he's the only industry insider we cover, but actually he's been pretty inactive as of late. He just dumped a ton of Marvel stuff recently. This was one of his most recent scoops from 3 days ago. Quote, Ryan Reynolds is making his own Mutants team-up movie for the next Saga. Now, interestingly enough, and when Ryan Reynolds was last asked about this, he stopped short of saying he was working on, say, Deadpool and Wolverine 2 or Deadpool 4, but what he did say is that he was writing his own little team-up thing right now, working on a new ensemble piece, but didn't mention who was a part of the team. Well, according to certain industry insiders, we know who that team is going to be. It'll be Deadpool, Wolverine, Storm, and Cable. And I know there will be a lot of questions about the recasting, whether or not it'll be Josh Brolin's Cable or Halle Berry's Storm, who we may see in the upcoming Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. And I think very likely going forward, there will be a great deal of recasting for these roles. But Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool and Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, those are the two that we can count on. And we know this because of quotes from Kevin Feige, the top Marvel brass. They're keeping Hugh Jackman around for a while. It looks like he will be the MCU's X-Men Wolverine. Him and Deadpool will be two of the holdovers when a lot of these other returning Fox X-Men actors probably are taking the stage for their last show, so to speak. And if they're not having their last appearance in Avengers Doomsday, it will be their last appearance in Secret Wars. So I would think it very unlikely that we'd see Halle Berry as Storm. It'll be a new actress for sure. As far as Josh Brolin back as Cable, I think that could go either way. It might just be a matter of what Marvel wants to do. And if they have other plans for Cable in the greater Mutant MCU era, they might not want to go back with Josh Brolin, obviously. But the easy argument to that is Robert Downey Jr. is now doomed, so I guess nothing is off the table. Now, the reason that he gets to write for his own little ensemble and that they won't be putting Deadpool and Wolverine into the X-Men reboot is pretty much also on the back of Ryan Reynolds' comments that you don't want to see Deadpool in the Avengers or in the X-Men. He's like an ancillary character that can show up in these major crossovers, but really kind of needs to do his own thing. There are reasons for that, but mostly because of the context of the character. It's hard to sort of keep verisimilitude in any sort of semi-serious or drama tone for some of these movies when you have a character like Deadpool cracking jokes about the movie itself and looking at the audience. That sort of fourth wall breaking can really take fans out of it if it's at the wrong moment. Not to mention, because of the context of the character, his films really need to be rated R. So this is going to allow Marvel Studios, whether or not it's a Mutant Saga, to explore different corners of the Mutant universe, doing it through different kinds of films. You'll have the X-Men reboot, which definitely will be PG-13 at the absolute most, and because they're going to want to appeal to a wider audience, families, like a normal Marvel movie. Then you'll have the Deadpool and Wolverine 2 or Deadpool 4, whatever you want to call it, X-Force, this next team-up film that will definitely be rated R and continue the character in his own way. And for that, you can use different mutants that might not have shown up on that original X-Men reboot. Look, Jake Schreier's already said that the new X-Men are going to be noticeably different from what we've already gotten from Fox before. And I think that's why it's a great reason to bring these Fox X-Men characters back, maybe see some traditional costumes, some of the old school players, because we might not get some of these characters on the first or second iteration of the team. It may look completely different. Well, that's where you can have Deadpool do his own thing and put some characters on that X-Men team that didn't get to feature in the reboot, but they're still in the MCU, they're still in that part of the world, and man, I would love to see Storm's ability in a rated R context on screen. I think a lot of these mutant abilities are really interesting when you start getting into rated R territory and what you can and can't show. Storm's is definitely one of those that, if done correctly, could be extremely violent, and you may not actually think about Storm's power set as being something that's like that, but hey, think about some of these scenes from Deadpool and Wolverine. Now insert Storm's power set there, it'd actually be pretty awesome, and the precedent's already been set for Deadpool and Wolverine because the greater ensemble worked so much. But really what I think this boils down to is that Ryan Reynolds has a unique voice in his own right, but also as Deadpool. There's definitely something specific going on there, and Marvel allowed Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman to some extent to get his team together with Sean Levy and make the movie he wanted to make, and because of that, it was successful. Not the normal Marvel way of movie by committee and plussing, but really allowing Ryan Reynolds to express his own voice. So going forward, how this works best, what's the proven track record, what's the proven formula for 3 Deadpool movies that are all reaching into the billions of dollars is let Ryan Reynolds write the movie, let him get his vision out. Yeah, he had to pitch a ton of pitches to Marvel for them to agree on one, but they still let him make his film, and that's what they're going to do in this next phase 2. Yeah, he'll show up in some of the X-Men crossovers, I'm sure of it, but he'll also get to do his own X-Men, his own X-Force, his own mutant team up, and we get some rated R X-Men too. And I think what's going to be a really interesting litmus test, although it's not directly related, is watching what Jon Bernthal's Punisher is going to be like in the upcoming Spider-Man Brand New Day, whereas before we've seen the Punisher on the Netflix and Disney TV shows and in his own series where, man, it goes beyond being violent. That stuff is insane in some of those episodes. It's not going to be able to be like that in Spider-Man Brand New Day. They're going to have to tone it down for the PG-13 rating of it all. And so if they're going to be able to do that well with Punisher and Spider-Man Brand New Day, it's the same sort of formula they'll take to Deadpool showing up in Doomsday, showing up in Secret Wars, showing up in X-Men. Is he still going to make raunchy jokes? Sure, but they're not going to be as raunchy. Are there going to be jokes about drugs? Probably not. And because famously PG-13 movies only allow you one F-bomb, Deadpool might get one, but it'll be the only one in the film and have to be perfectly timed at that. Still, there are a lot of creative ways with colorful language that Ryan Reynolds, I'm sure, will find to still express his character of Deadpool in those ensemble scenarios, and it's pretty amazing that Marvel Studios has the good sense, even in the way that they make everything movie by committee now, to still let Ryan Reynolds do his own Deadpool thing again, and whether or not it's going to be Deadpool and Wolverine 2 or Deadpool 4 or X-Force, one of those, it'll still be a Ryan Reynolds movie. Guys, let me know all your thoughts down below if you're hyped for this the way I am, and seriously, 2 or 3 mutant movies now all being confirmed. If it's not the Mutant Saga, it's going to be real interesting to see what they choose to call this next saga if it's not the Mutant Saga. I'm all ears as always. Let me know your thoughts down below quickly. We are still giving away PS5s at the channel. The next one is to coincide with Wonder Man at the end of the year. We'll also do some giveaways in the holiday season. All you got to do is leave a comment because it's truly random. The more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos the same way we're doing here. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on. And as always, if you liked today's video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. My name's Michael Roman. Find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at @IamFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes under the name All Fires. And while I would sincerely appreciate you checking my music out, thanks for checking this channel out. Stick around, we'll be posting again real soon.